KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your beer.
Keep following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Yo, I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these communities, let it give them some range. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want. And it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. I am unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle. I'm walking tall, cause I know that y'all expect me to lead. To push the message I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach it till I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, the whole 9 of the nighttime, right at 9, ready to blaze up another broadcast for all the kings and queens and by in between, huh? Back in the booth after an exhilarating 4-day Memorial weekend, which allowed me to spend some emotional time with people closest to me in 2023. As many of you are already aware, the last few months of my life have been an emotional roller coaster, but this weekend found me shedding a tear or two after expressing some feelings that had long been buried under the surface. Yet the viewing of an eagerly anticipated Disney adaptation added a little more substance to my messaging and its purpose. Let me explain. I went and watched The Little Mermaid this weekend. For those unaware, Disney just released a live-action version of the animated classic which tells the story of a teenage mermaid princess named Ariel, who dreams of becoming human and falls in love with a human prince named Eric, which leads her to make a magic deal with a sea witch named Ursula to ultimately become human and be with Eric. Back in 1989, the original Little Mermaid would go on to gross $235 million in total lifetime box office earnings worldwide, and it was just reported that this version, starring Halle Bailey, with an African-American actress playing the lead role for the first time, grossed a mind-boggling $117 million over the holiday weekend and close to $164 million worldwide. Needless to say, the executives at Disney have got to be thrilled at the initial results. However, if you look a little deeper, you'll find that they might be concerned that not only is America having a tough time embracing its first black mainstream mermaid, but the world is having its struggles as well. Check this out. The movie currently holds a lukewarm critical rating of 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the verified audience holds a robust 95% rating. Basically meaning the actual viewers of the film ain't trying to hear what the biased and perhaps even racist movie critics are saying. According to Deadline magazine in France, where Little Mermaid launched on Wednesday, Allociné wrote, and I quote, "We are currently observing an unusual distribution of scores which demands the need for caution. We encourage you to make up your own mind about the film," end quote. On IMDb, a warning reads, quote, "Our rating mechanism has detected unusual voting activity on this title. To preserve the reliability of our rating system, an alternate weighting calculation has been applied," end quote. In Germany, Movie Pilot showed a rating of 0.7 out of 10 before Little Mermaid even released. Yes, you heard me. 0.7, not 7, 0.7. far lower than any comparative title. However, traction increased throughout the weekend and it moved to a whopping 5 rating. In Korea, SBS News reported heading into the weekend that the film had been subject to quote-unquote ratings terrorism. In an article whose title Korean entertainment website ZapZ translated to quote, backlash against Black Mermaid, appearance ridiculed, ratings drop on day one, end quote. And then there was China, which was simply an unmitigated disaster. Let's not forget that the decision makers in China changed Halle's skin color to blue on the movie marquee poster so that the film might perform better. And it appears to have failed tremendously. Yes, a country with a population of close to 1.5 billion people generated box office through Sunday, translating to a dismal $2.5 million American dollars, with a projection of a paltry $4 million total. Which is why Trevor Noah, formerly of Comedy Central's Daily Show, unpacked the racist responses of The Little Mermaid a few months ago. Listen.
Every time one of these internet outrage things happens about which character is being played by whom and people get angry, I would get it if people had good faith arguments, but you can tell that people are just using these moments to disguise a discriminatory ideal and a racism that they hold. It's your thing. People are gonna act like, oh no, the Little Mermaid, I'm here because I'm a Little Mermaid purist. And come up with all these bullshit answers. They'll be like, you look at the history of the Little Mermaid. I'm sorry, the history of the Little Mermaid? You mean the imagination of the Little Mermaid? If you look at it, it's like, yeah, if you were a fan, you would have known that Disney had long created Black Mermaids. They did this, they spin off all their movies, they've had tons of them. They had a Black Mermaid, she did sign language, it used to be a cartoon when we were kids. People don't care about it. They're like, it's never happened. It's just, look, here's the thing, it's not about race, it's just about realism. I'm sorry, what? And then it's ironic that they try and use representation as the argument the other way around, So they will say, it's not about representation. Who cares who plays the role? All that matters is the best person gets the job. And it's like, have you heard Halle Bailey sing? Have you heard her sing? You're going to tell me the best person, who do you think they got? You think Disney is just out there in the street like you? Come, let's go. You think they play games like that? It is the best person for the job. You're angry about who the best person was. That's what you...
Yeah. They're angry about who the best person was. That is what's so heartbreaking. Now, I know for the vast majority of my listening audience, this isn't a big deal in the slightest. We've already seen updated Black versions of classic white Americans, or white Americana, over the last few years, and this one merely adds to the ever-increasing list. As a sequel to an animated Black Spider-Man entitled Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, coming to movie theaters next month, and the same Black Spider-Man PlayStation video game called Miles Morales sold millions of copies on the PS4. The Human Torch in 2015's Fantastic Four was played by none other than Michael B. Jordan, and word has it that MBJ is currently developing his own Black Superman project for Max as we speak. There was also a Black Little Orphan Annie starring Jamie Foxx back in 2014, and Cedric the Entertainer made a terrible Black Honeymooners film back in 2005. Absolutely terrible. Allow me to apologize for that one. And don't even get me started on Hamilton, too. Those were real-life white characters, transformed into black people. Blackwashing drives racists mad. And I'm so happy that it does. But let's not assume all white people have a problem with a Black Little Mermaid, though. It's just that closed-minded people like political commentator Matt Walsh do, as Real Ray William illustrates so well on TikTok. Listen.
I've been hearing about these people all week, and they're driving me nuts.
With The Little Mermaid, can we also just mention that from a scientific perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have someone with darker skin who lives deep in the ocean. I mean, not only should The Little Mermaid be pale, she should actually be translucent. If you look at deep-sea creatures, they're translucent. They have no...
It's a fairy tale. It's a movie starring a fish girl. And if my memory serves me correctly, an octopus woman, a talking crab, another fish, and a priest who's really happy to be here. Yeah, Hollywood wants more diversity in movies right now. So what? Why is this even a debate? Disney doesn't give two about what Pizza Hut middle manager here thinks about their kids' movie. And if you're like, Ray, but the guy was probably trolling, yeah, maybe, but also...
I do care about the racial double standard, which we are being conditioned to accept.
Yeah, he and a lot of other people are trying to make casting a young woman in a fish movie into a culture war issue, and honestly, it's pathetic. He probably doesn't really care about the Little Mermaid movie. He's just another grifter on the internet trying to monetize your anger.
Monetize our anger. Pretty pathetic, huh? So, dear white people, listen up and listen good. It's time for another one of our talks yet again. Because newsflash, y'all hands ain't clean. We already know this, don't we? You had no problem flipping the script and wearing blackface back in the 1800s when white actors would paint their faces black, using theatrical makeup in order to act out the most racist and over-the-top stereotypes while dehumanizing us black Americans at the same time. And when you didn't have that theatrical makeup, you would darken your skin with shoe polish, grease paint or burnt cork or paint on enlarged lips and other exaggerated features to really look as Negro as you could, huh? And let's not forget that you also had no problem casting white actors in some of the most iconic black roles of all time. How about when the obviously white Angelina Jolie played Marianne Pearl in the 2007 drama film A Mighty Heart? Or when Joseph Fiennes played Michael Jackson in the 2016 British TV movie Elizabeth, Michael, and Marlon. Okay, that one might have some accuracy. I'll give you that one. We ain't gonna get into that. And of course, the most infamous one when Elizabeth Taylor had the nerve, the audacity, the gall to play the incomparable Cleopatra in the 1963 historical film. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because in the words of the immortal Ice Cube, quote, "We go to church, but they tease us with a picture of a blue-eyed Jesus," end quote. Jesus was in no way a white man, but y'all ain't trying to hear that. From the biblical text that you and I both believe to be true, Jesus' hair was white, his feet were brownish like bronze, and his hair was like wool. Straight from that holy Bible. From where I'm standing, Jesus looked more like Samuel L. Jackson than Andrew Jackson. Yet and still, you got no problem hanging a white Jesus on the walls of your local church, while some of your fellow church parishioners may even be black themselves. And here's another newsflash for you that you probably don't want to hear. There are no white people in the Holy Bible. There is none righteous. Yeah, no, not one. Sorry. And Dr. Ray Higgins will be back next week to take things even further. Y'all know how he gets down. In conclusion, I really loved the film, though. I did. I got a confession to make as well. When Halle Bailey is singing the signature Little Mermaid song, Part of Your World, near the beginning of the film, your boy got misty. Can't front. I cannot deny. Why? Because I saw the film at the Cinemark Baldwin Hills Theater right down the street here, with a predominantly black crowd, with a large percentage of young black girls in attendance. And I would occasionally take a peek behind me, watching them be mesmerized by seeing Halle on screen. And it warms the cockles of my heart to know that these beautiful queens, in a world that works tirelessly to deem them as unimportant, can take a little time to dream sometimes, with actual black girl magic appearing on screen. So I gotta give a shout out to Disney for flipping the script and choosing to bet on black, even in the face of a white man's world that is perpetually on the attack. But that's just me. All right, LA, tell me what you think, LA. Huh? Have you seen the 2023 version of The Little Mermaid, huh? Many people, especially black women, said that it made them a little misty, myself included. Can't front tonight. It gave them a sense of pride. Do you feel the same? Also, what do you think of black characters being cast in iconic white roles? Is it forcing something that doesn't need to be forced? Did we have to actually have a black Little Mermaid? Huh? Or is it ultimately righting the wrongs of the past? And lastly, what's your opinion on all this backlash? Why do you think many trolls and haters on social media are attacking Halle Bailey, and this film? Is it racism? Is it white entitlement? Is it white supremacy? What would cause a person to feel so much hatred for a fantasy character and franchise? Holla at your boy. Your voice to change, your voice to community. Your voice is on. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. You can also stream us via the brand new KBLA streaming app on your app store. iOS or Android. It don't matter. That same app allows you to send me your questions and comments that I will answer live at different intervals throughout the broadcast. Plus, Like, share, and follow your favorite radio station. Live on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, too. Get on there. And feel free to send me your questions and comments, and I will answer at different intervals throughout the broadcast. And the Danny Mo Show, as usual, will take your comments via the ecosystem of our social network. Check this out. When we come forward, I will add another 7 series to add to your topic of conversation tonight. Look, change is coming. Y'all know that magical year we talk about on this show all the time, right? 2045. A lot of white people are terrified, man. Some are terrified because they think we will do to them what they have done to us for 400 plus years. Especially if the minorities all start banding together, but we've already started doing our part for the change. So my 7 series tonight is the 7 biggest and blackest changes in America that are driving white people crazy, man. Absolutely bonkers. 7 specific ways that I can see black people rising in America, and you see it too. Allow me to remind you on the other side. Add to the conversation with your phone calls when we come forward. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show on unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Let's ride. Come on.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52,
36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, California, streaming live on the KBLA YouTube page as we speak. I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I am here to tell you what to think about. We black in a spot. Another episode of the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Once again, got to ask my loyal listeners out there, Danny Mo Show YouTube watchers, hit that like on that page right now. You see that thumbs up emblem right below this video? Boom, hit that. If you watch it from your TV or from your PC or whatever, go ahead. I think you can minimize that and still hit that like. I would appreciate that. It helps this show and this station get a little more traction within the algorithm. We would very much appreciate that. Hit that like on there, okay? Is that cool? By the way, every hour, not just this hour, every hour, Make it happen, Captain. I told you, this is free of charge. This entertainment you're going to get tonight, even though I'm slow and sluggish tonight, I ain't got a lot of sleep, but I'm still going to bring you fun. We got breaking news. Breaking news. With DJ A+, what we got?
Speaking of YouTube.
Yeah.
This is a late announcement. But shout out to YouTube when everybody tapped into YouTube on KBLA or whatnot. About 12 days ago, we cracked over 3,000 subscribers. So just keep it up, family. Keep it up, family, man. We want to spread this word, black folk talking black business.
That's it right there, man. That is some major, major news, man. All organic, too, by the way. Not pouring in money, because, you can boost those numbers if you want to. If you want to put some money, you can do that. But we want the real people. We want actual people. No bots, no fakes. Real people coming in, having real conversations on real shows at KBLA. So shout out to all y'all. Still hit that like, though. That being said, still hit that like. All right? By the way, coming up at the top of the hour, I got another Pulse one-on-one interview that you need to hear. June 2023 is National Gun Violence Prevention Month, and this gentleman has been tenaciously working creatively to share his story and art from his studies at Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio, Vermont College, abroad in Oxford, England, Bakersfield, California. I was surprised to see that. And to grammar schools and high schools alike. Poetry empowered him to write, meet, and forgive his brother Lamont's killers. His story is not just about the moment, but about a cultural and artistic lifestyle movement with a universal message of peace, love, and forgiveness. Tonight, he will descend into the Danny Mo Show to share his story, discuss his critically acclaimed film, his book on poetry, and so much more. Poet, author, and brand strategist, Kwesi Garo. I hope I'm saying his name right. I hope so. I guess we'll know in a second. On the Danny Morrison Show, Inside My Post 101, coming up at the top of the hour. And by the way, don't forget, in the third hour, we just might bring you a few more of the Upon Further Review clips that you all have sent us over the past few days. Clips that extend the conversation on some of the topics we've touched on recently on the Danny Mo Show. Man, you guys were bombarding me this weekend. Shout out to two people. One is Lala. Lala, who checks in on the show every now and again. I bet Lala sent me 40 videos this weekend. Boom, 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 boom. And shout out to, Craig. What's Craig's last name? He will kill me. But Craig jumps in as well on our YouTube feed. Sent me probably 5, 6 of them. And I just got randoms all throughout the 4-day weekend. So shout out to you guys. And a few of them are. The first clip features a podcaster and cultural voice, Wallow. Some of y'all know Wallow. He breaks down how we in the black community are quick to criticize each other, but we need to be more selective with who we listen to. The second clip is from one of my favorite comedians, Godfrey, breaking down the hypocrisies of white America who hate us yet still steal from our culture at the same time. The third clip features a king telling single black men listening how being married helps your physical and your mental health, being married, and how we should be the ones out here trying to get married. Following up on our conversation from about a week ago. And lastly, my moment of Nubian nostalgia with another blast from the past that you all might remember. The video is current, but the king narrating this vid is referencing classic black content. It's a test to see which of the classic black films you've seen, which determines whether you're invited to the cookout. I can't wait to see you do that, by the way. Upon further review clips, coming up at the top of the hour, top of the third hour, if you will. And in the meantime and in between time, make sure you follow us on all socials. Like, share, comment. Most importantly, tell your friends and family. Do the same. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, too. Also, download that KBLA app. iOS or Android, it don't matter. We just might play the content over the air if you use the open mic feature on that app. That's the new KBLA app exclusively, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Who's on the phone? Is that Fahima? Fahima, get on up in here. Give me your height, your color, and your hood, queen.
I'm still 5'6", caramel brown, and I'm in the nation's capital.
DC, check it in. Drop it. Come on. Yeah. You know, I'm looking on the screen, and it says, you conveniently left out Dr. Umar. What do you mean conveniently? What does that mean?
Well, I'm sure that you've heard his diatribe about Spider-Man and The Little Mermaid. You know, and to be quite frank, he's no better than the white supremacists who were upset that the mermaid was black. And as the guy who sent you the video, we do need to be careful about who we're following behind. This man continues to inject himself into every iota of everything. He's got a comment about everything, every single thing. when he needs to figure out how he's going to break it to y'all about the school.
I got to be honest with you. I have not seen the diatribe that he went on. I usually check him out. I was very busy this weekend. I haven't heard it nor seen it. So.
Oh, okay. Because I saw it first on Comedy Hype, and he was complaining about The Little Mermaid and Spider-Man. He ain't seen either one of them.
Right.
But he's complaining about it. It was like these other people who were complaining about The Color Purple. There's a movie adaptation of it on the screen. Anyway, Danny, that's all I wanted to say. And when you get time, take a look at the trailer I sent you for Young, Rich, and African. It's a Netflix special about these young, rich African people in South Africa.
Young, Rich, and African, Netflix. That's one of the apps I'm going to save. I got to tell you, I've been doing some spring cleaning. Andy and I were talking about it last week. I have got 15 apps that I'm paying for. I'm not kidding. And I'm like, what?
No.
Why?
Oh, you mean Netflix? You're going to say Netflix?
No, I'm going to keep Netflix, but I'm probably going to keep 5. I'm trying to save some money, and I'm also, like, they're sitting there. Every time my charge goes through every month at the beginning of the month, it's like, why am I paying for Paramount Plus? Why?
Well, yeah, why? You can keep the Netflix, and I know you're always trashing Tubi TV, but Tubi saved me because there's a class. There's a movie I showed my class. I used to show my class the Raisin in the Sun, and unfortunately, the platform I was getting from, they removed it, and they actually had it on Tubi TV. And also Pluto TV, which is also free, they have the entire collection of Ellis Hayslip. We'd be scoffing at the stuff that's free while we're spending $100 on crap we don't even use.
Yeah, but I'm not one of those people that, like, will go to a black restaurant just because it's got black people. I'm not that cat. And Tubi got a whole bunch of suspect black cinema on there. And I watch it and I go, this is terrible. I'm not going to watch it just because it's got black people.
Well, let me just say this. A Raisin in the Sun with Felicia Rashad, Sanaa Lathan, and Sean Combs was excellent. It was absolutely excellent. It was an adaptation of the Broadway play, and I showed that film, and it was on Tubi TV.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crap on Netflix, too.
Oh, there is. Make no mistake. And I can't front. I'm considering cutting Netflix, too.
No, don't cut Netflix. That's the only one I do have. Netflix is the only one I do have that I pay for. But why are people paying for YouTube? It makes no sense.
I'm one of those people. The reason I pay is because I get YouTube TV and I get premium, and you don't have to watch any commercials. That's the reason I do.
Well, all you got to do is just skip ad and keep going. It won't be nothing. I'm going to tell you what I told one of my clients.
Uh-huh.
I told her, if you can spend $200 a month for cable, you can put $50 away for your kids in the bank.
Okay.
So cut the cord and put put half of the money that you're using to send other people's kids to private schools and on European vacations, and put it in a custodial account for your kids.
That sounds like a plan. By the way, give her a call of the night. Fahima coming in, checking up your boy on this wannabe Monday called Tuesday. I appreciate you, Queen. I'll look up Dr. Umar. I'll check out that clip that you sent me as well, okay?
No, don't look about Dr. Umar. No, don't follow Umar. Don't follow Umar. I'm telling you not to do that.
Okay.
But check out Young, Rich, and African.
I definitely will. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, bye.
Young, Rich, and African. I will check that out, man. I need some stuff to watch on Netflix. I can't deny. I've been like clicking through it, and it seems like every single time I get in that app, I don't see anything that I like. There's this terrible movie on there from J-Lo. It's called Mother. I watched a piece of that. I would rather watch paint dry than finish watching that thing. It was terrible. So Netflix, come on. I need some more comedy. Where's Chappelle? Where's Chris Rock? That's the only reason I'll keep him around. We'll see. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we'll read some comments on YouTube. We'll also get to the 7 series of the night. We got a guest coming in at the top of the hour. Danny Mo Show, KBLA. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A former state prison in Harlem is being converted into a temporary shelter for asylum seekers, with New York City trying to find places to put them. Meantime, police are still searching for a group who attacked 2 off-duty Marines in San Clemente, California. And State Farm says it will no longer insure property sales in California. Janet Ruiz of the Insurance Information Institute says the company blames the decision on the increased wildfire risk and the explosive expense in construction.
With the 5 years of intense wildfires and losses, and we've pretty much lost all our underwriting profit that we had from the last 20 years.
State Farm says they'll continue to insure existing customers, and this does not affect customers who have auto insurance. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Hey, DQ fans, the new Oreo Brookie Blizzard treat is here. That's a delectable combination of Brookie and Oreo cookie pieces blended together in world-famous soft serve. You get all that in just one treat, and that treat is waiting for you only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Did you know that all City of LA renters have rights? Check out these 3 facts. Residential tenants can't be evicted without reason or just cause. Eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt due before March 31st, 2023. And you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice. 5 days. Many Angelinos may be at risk of losing their home, and that's why we want you to know your rights. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the Evanon, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Calling all small business owners, entrepreneurs, and startups. Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation is your one-stop shop for the resources and tools you need to take your business to the next level. VSEDC is a community-based nonprofit and CDFI organization recognized for decades of technical and entrepreneurial assistance to South LA small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs for 40 years. VSEDC provides training workshops and your very own business coach, and these services are all free. That's right, these services are free. Business coaches are standing by at their South LA Business Source Center or their Watts Business Source Center. Visit their website at vsedc.org or call them now at 323-752-2335. That's Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation at 323-753-2335.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ooh, hey.
Let's go, let's go. Come on now.
Do you mind if I tell the truth for a second, y'all? Tell the truth. Hey. No. Maybe I deserve to wonder who's calling so damn late. For you to say I'm tripping, just a homie from upstate. Said it's just a homie. Don't he know it's 1 o'clock in the morning? You say it's cool, baby, it's cool. Maybe I deserve for you to say he's coming into town. Later on this evening, and he was just wondering if you and him could hang out. Whoa. I don't like it, but I know I gotta trust you. It ain't cool, cause I know it's true. Maybe I deserve for you to go out and find some other guy. Maybe I deserve for you to stay out with them all night. Maybe I deserve for you to do all the things I did to you. Maybe I deserve, oh yeah. Maybe I deserve, oh yeah. Maybe I deserve for you to go out.
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Maybe I deserve to get rid of some of these apps. For real. Okay, so during the break just now, I was writing down all of the streaming apps I have on my I have an Xbox at home, right? I run them all through there. Listen to this list, okay? Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Peacock, Tubi, Paramount Plus, Apple TV, Pluto TV, Redbox, YouTube, Brown Sugar, MGM Plus, BET Plus, Stars, Showtime, ESPN, Crunchyroll.
It's about time for a cleanup.
Is that crazy or what? Now, to be fair, I don't pay for half of those. But the ones that I do pay for, I shouldn't be. Like, I never watch Hulu. Very rare, right? I've been watching Peacock a little bit. I never watch Paramount Plus. I rarely watch Apple TV. YouTube I use all the time. But MGM Plus, I got that waste of money. They're advertising that thing all over Inglewood. Have you seen that on all the billboards? I
haven't seen it.
You trust me, you ain't missing nothing. But Fahima says in the thread right now, I'm not intentionally or deliberately looking for black content. I just said I got Brown Sugar. I got BET Plus. I'm always looking for black content. But man, that Tubi stuff, Jesus. That stuff was shot with a camcorder, a lot of them things, man. I can't rock with it. King Joseph Log said, peace. Free Africa. I love that, by the way. Greetings, family. Briga said, thinking about getting rid of Netflix too. You might wanna. Mimi said, happy Tuesday, everyone. Tubi has classic TV shows and a Dateline NBC channel. I haven't seen any of the movies yet. Are they that bad, Danny? Yes. Yeah. Just because you can afford a camera, just because you might have a place that you want to shoot on location, doesn't mean that you can write a script. And doesn't mean that the cat down the street that you think is so funny can act. I'm sorry. It's not the way it works. Mimi said, I can't get another app. I'll never go to sleep. And she also said, Brown Sugar. So you're watching Pam Grier movies. Go to yeah, listen. Let's go.
You know what company doesn't have an app?
Who's
and
that?
I could be wrong, but Bounce TV.
Bounce. I have Bounce.
That's regular TV, though.
Yeah. No, it's not. Oh, you have cable, though.
No, but it's right. If you have a digital converter, which is regular TV, it's not on cable, from my understanding.
Okay. By the way, Fahima, you're going to kill me for it, but you brought it to my attention. I wasn't going to watch it, But now you've got me curious about what Dr. Umar said, so I asked my man, Andy, to pull up the clip. We won't play the whole thing. Apparently, it's a two-parter. Dr. Umar went off on Black Spider-Man and also on the Black Little Mermaid, and apparently this is what he said. Listen.
You understand this new Spider cartoon? I don't follow the cartoon. Spider-Man Across the Universe. Spider-Man Across the Universe, and he's bunny hopping in the damn trailer I saw on YouTube. How the hell you gonna have a black superhero cartoon for our children? And he's lusting and thirsting over the skim milk in the damn trailer. This is insane.
Wow.
How you gonna have a cartoon bunny hopping over the white girl in the cartoon? Lord have mercy. And then what is it, Little Mermaid? They said Little Mermaid is swimming in the milk. She is bunny hopping too.
Oh,
Little Mermaid got a snow puppy. Insane, brothers and sisters. We can't even have a cartoon with black on black love. We can't even have a cartoon with black on black love. We can't even have a cartoon with black on.
Okay, Andy, okay. Can I get something off my chest to kind of tie into what Dr. Umar's talking about, okay? As I mentioned inside my opening monologue, right? I went and saw the magical and fantastical film The Little Mermaid, starring Halle Bailey, over the weekend. If you haven't seen it, you need to. You'll love it. Trust. White people need to understand that the characters that they are fighting so hard to keep pure, we want it to be pure. Ariel, she's got long red hair and she's a white girl, right? Maybe fantastical characters, but they are still fantasy characters. They are fake. They are not real. Just like the black characters that were added to the Lord of the Rings and the Game of Thrones universes that white people were also up in arms over last year. Y'all remember that nonsense? Those worlds are fictional and not to be taken seriously. Shoot, the conjuring of spells and magic and the fire-breathing dragon should have been a dead giveaway, I'm just saying. But trust me, I do understand. I know that seeing black characters in roles that have historically been reserved for white people pushes back against your preconceptions of power. And some might surmise that it tinkers with your assumptions that superpowers can only be derived from white power, so to speak. See what I did there? So to my fellow black people out there, please understand what's really going on here. I know it's wonderful seeing a black girl in such an iconic role as the Little Mermaid, and we are excited by the possibilities that an entirely new generation of black girls will now be mesmerized by the Disney magic. But we do need to realize that these are roles that were created by white authors, okay? All based on history or mythologies of selected European ethnicities that were all previously filmed with white people, okay? Representation does matter, don't get it twisted. But them spoon-feeding us these roles could be seen as just another version of secondhand token representation. We are still seen as second. We are still seen as the alternative. We are still seen as the copy and never the original. Let's not forget that Disney could have written an entirely new Little Mermaid story derived from African myths and fairy tales about our own mermaids. I think that's what Dr. Umar was trying to say. But he always got to throw a bomb or two. Like the Mami Wata of the Western Africa, huh? The most prominent water spirit of African folklore. Look it up. Now, I'll still take it, though. Don't get it twisted. I'll still take it. But I want to see brand new black fantasy characters on the screen that the world will identify as always being black. And more importantly, I want to see black writers and directors and actors all being a part of the creative process. The Black Panther franchise epitomizes what's possible. And shout out to Ryan Coogler for being the barrier breaker in Hollywood cinema. And according to the 2014 University of California study, check this out. Inequality in 700 popular films, an average of 75.2% of speaking roles already go to white actors in Hollywood. 3/4 of them. And I think Halle Bailey being handed the role of Little Mermaid's Ariel should be celebrated and not downgraded. But did you notice? Caught me off guard too. That Disney casted her father, King Triton, as a non-black man. I think he's Latino. Did you notice that Disney made her love interest, the prince, a white man? Did you notice that the cast resembled the cast of, remember Disney's Cinderella, where Brandy and Whitney Houston and Whoopi Goldberg were black, but the remaining cast members looked like a box of Crayolas? Remember that? In other words, I was a touch disappointed, can't front, that we basically got a white version of the Little Mermaid in blackface. So if you're going to do a Black Little Mermaid Disney next time, how about just go all the way in? It's okay. And on a side note, we lost the actor that played Sebastian under the sea. We lost him in the original film. Sam Wright is his name. He had a 3-year battle with prostate cancer. Died at the age of 74 back in 2021. And it would have been nice to see him reprise his iconic role in the newly realized version. Tony winner Daveed Diggs did an exceptional job in Sam's place, though. And it also would have been nice to see him witness young Black girls' reactions to seeing a Little Mermaid that looks exactly like them. To offset the negativity they are bombarded with on a daily basis. And this movie just might help in doing that. So here's to hoping that this is the start of a world that regularly shows that Black girl magic is real, on screen and off. I'm sure that they all want to be a part of that world. But once again, that's just me. I'm just saying. When we come forward, I got your 7 series. We'll read some more comments as well. And we got our guest coming in, who, by the way, is at the front door right now. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. Middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Director of Programming and General Manager Asantewaa Olatunji named Los Angeles Cultural Affairs Commissioner by Mayor Karen Bass. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. She's an attorney and an arts advocate excited about serving in the development of the cultural landscape in LA County. Olatunji is the co-founder of the Pan-African Film Festival, also known as PAF. She began her career as an entertainment lawyer on staff with Paramount Pictures. Her legal career was diverse, and she was on general counsel for the LA Black Employees Association, amongst many other affiliations. Her new role with the city will make her a member of the advisory board responsible for the review and approval of all architecture and artwork on or over city property. Congratulations. I'm Maisha Cairo, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey LA, keep your utility bills low this summer while making your home the cool place to be. LADWP can help you save hundreds with air conditioner and thermostat rebates, plus free energy efficient home upgrades and simple tips to help you beat the heat and save money. Visit ladwp.com/cool-LA.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of Black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the Black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the Black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare Black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the Black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're minutes away from King Kwesi coming in, blazing up my Pulse 101. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. I'm so happy he could come in. I thought we were doing a phone interview. He's like, I'm coming down. Let's go. You know, I always appreciate when the kings and queens walk in studio, man. So, no doubt. Let me get a few more comments before we jump into the 7 series here. Let me see. Marcus said, hey, y'all, sitting in the back pew. He said the best 3 are Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Hulu. I can't find much on Hulu, King. I'm trying. Mimi said bounces on Comcast in Florida. Yeah, it's on cable and Tubi. And she said Dr. Umar Johnson is so messy. Marcus said Hollywood makes trash movies with budget, so it's just part of the game. It's greenlit and given a platform, it will get seen. and loved Little Mermaid. It was a fantasy, not even a fan of live-action films, but it was a well-made, and Halle was fantastic in it. And he said Umar needs to run that school that he finally got constructed. You know, highly disappointed in what that school looked like. But you know what I noticed about movies and TV over the last few years? It seems like I'm getting better content. I'm getting better quality content with my TV watching. I used to get that in my movies over the last 10, 15 years. Television now has got some great content, man. And I got like 10 shows that I am just glued to. Movies don't do it. It seems like every big movie that comes out is some superhero flick or some fantasy flick like Little Mermaid. When was the last time you went to a movie that was critically acclaimed, great acting, great writing, great script, the whole nine? It hasn't happened. And I bet if you read off the last 10 Academy Award winners, all of those winners, you go, I don't remember that movie. I don't remember that movie. I don't remember that movie. You know?
I think it's because a lot of these TV shows are kind of like movies. They're
Yes.
like mini series now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's all these drama-filled TV shows now that are kind of like movies. So
Could I make the case that because we now have such short attention spans with these phones in front of us, that we want everything in snippets, and we also want to control everything?
100%.
We will invest. You know what's crazy? We will invest 8 hours in a TV show at home, but we don't want to sit in a movie theater for 3 hours to watch a film.
That's because that TV show is probably broken down into 30-minute segments, so to
Yes.
speak. So,
But you're devoting hours to that TV show.
but you could take it in pockets.
And you know the other part of it, you also don't feel like you are investing financially into that, even though you're paying for the subscription. When you're watching something on Netflix, money's not crossing your mind. You're just like, hey, I'll watch this TV show or I'll watch this movie on there. When you go to the movie theater, you're like, shoot, I gotta watch this whole thing. I'm not going to the bathroom. I want to watch the movie. You tripping? I'm not going to the snack bar.
Can I add something else to your streaming platforms?
Please do.
How many music streaming platforms do you utilize?
I got YouTube Music. I'm not on Apple. I'm on Spotify. That's
Tidal?
another one.
Tidal?
Not on Tidal.
Okay.
Since Jay sold it to the white people. Y'all need to support this app because it's black owned and blah, blah, blah. The artists get more money, which is, by the way, it's true. You get a large percentage if you go through Tidal than you do the other streaming apps. But once that thing started jumping, he said, I'm going to go and flip this and make a little bit of money. Yeah, okay. Mr. 2.5 Billy, whatever. Let's jump right into the 7 Series. Let's go. Come on.
One topic, 7 answers. It's time for the 7 Series on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
We will speed through these because we are short on time. 7 blackest and biggest changes in America that are driving white people crazy. You want to add to the discussion? You know how we put it down for the town. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. 7 biggest and blackest changes in America that are driving white people crazy. Number 1, black people are coming into more political power. Yeah, man. We got a black MVP, Madam Vice President Kamala. Huh? Did you know that in 1965, there were no black U.S. senators or governors? And only 5 members of the House of Representatives were black. Is that crazy? Huh? And as of 2021, 57 House members in the new Congress were black, a record high and the largest since 1965. Here's number 2, the national broadcasting of the Black National Anthem. Y'all remember that thing? Oh, my God. White people lost their minds on that thing. You know, a lot of us African Americans know that Lift Every Voice and Sing was first written as a poem by James Weldon Johnson. It was also performed for the first time by 500 school children in celebration of President Lincoln's birthday on February 12th, 1900 in Jacksonville, Florida. It was set to music by Johnson's brother, and the NAACP would eventually adopt it as their official song. But man, the first time I noticed how crazy it made racist white people was on the Super Bowl kickoff from a couple years ago. Y'all remember that? Oh my God. Jesus. It was fire, but Jethro in Alabama was on fire. I'm just saying. Why them people gotta have their own national anthem? Why? If you don't like our anthem, go back to Africa. That's what y'all need to do. But then there wouldn't be a football game. You know that, right? If we go back to Africa, you know 70% of the league is black, right? We run that. We run the NFL. NBA too, by the way. So, you sure you want us to leave? I'm just saying. Here's number 3. The blackwashing of classic white characters. We talked about this already. Black Spider-Man in the movies. Let me see. And also in the video game, Human Torch and the Fantastic Four. Of course, that Black Superman's coming out to HBO pretty soon here. Cedric the Entertainer made that Black Honeymooners film. That thing is absolutely putrid. But those were real-life white characters, some of them transformed into black people. Blackwashing drives racists mad, and I'm glad it does. Here's number 4. Black-centric advertising. Are y'all paying attention to the commercial breaks these days? It's crazy, huh? Like they are force-feeding interracial relationships on us. It's very rare that you see a commercial that's got an all-black family. Like they'll start out with a black woman, talking, and they always make a sassy too. They put a little Tiffany Haddish on it. And then she's got a white man sitting at the other end of the kitchen table eating some cereal, talking about their day. Right? I'll tell you to make it through a 2-minute commercial break without seeing a black face, an interracial relationship, or both. Why? Because Trump lost. And corporations ain't stupid. Colorblind advertising became more rampant the moment he left office. Why? They see where the country is headed. We already talked about 2045. And they don't care what color you are. The only color businesses they see is green. But Jethro at home absolutely hates it. Here's number 5. Juneteenth is now a federal holiday. Yeah, President Biden signed that bad boy into law a couple years ago. The Juneteenth National Independence Day, and KBLA will be celebrating that bad boy once again with our anniversary. African Americans across the country were cheering over the big news, but a lot of us were wondering why Biden could sign a hate crime bill for Asian Americans, but couldn't use that same pen to sign an executive order for the hate crimes against African Americans. But I digress. But that being said, the Jethros on Twitter were furious at that signing. Man, oh man. Here's number 6. Hip-hop is now the #1 musical genre in the United States. It officially happened back in 2017 after nipping at rock's heels for years. 8 of the 10 most listened to artists of the year came from the hip-hop and R&B genre, led by Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And to make matters even worse, rock is continuing its downward slide into oblivion with under 5% of songs in 2020, 2021, and 2022 being classified as some form of rock. That's crazy. And the Jethros are pretty pissed about it. They can't stand to see that many black faces dominate the Billboard charts. I say, oh well. The rock genre was stolen from us to begin with. We gonna get into that, huh? Godfrey's gonna give you that inside my clip coming up a little bit later tonight. Let me see. Fats Domino, Ike Turner, God bless the dead. Ray Charles, God bless the dead. Little Richard, God bless the dead. Chuck Berry, God bless the dead. Bo Diddley, God bless the dead. Are the real architects of rock and roll anyway? So maybe we will invent a new genre of music for them to steal. Oh, wait, Eminem is online too. I'm just kidding. And his, what? I love him. I do. And his last one, number 7. Black people coming out to vote, man. Oh, they can't stand it. They can't. Y'all should have seen this one coming, okay? Black people coming into more political power drives the racists crazy. And that's just a part of the puzzle. You want to know what really drives them insane? When we get out the vote. And allow me to break things down categorically so you all can understand in the little time I got left. Pew Research also states that 34% of non-voters are younger than 30 years old. And the vast majority, 70%, are younger than 50. 70%. Okay? Legislation is being passed and or overturned that will impact your and your family's lives by people that mostly aren't even in your age group too, in ways you never thought possible. Okay? One would think that races of people that are considered outcasts in different communities throughout this country, people that suffer injustice by law enforcement while unarmed in neighborhoods throughout this country, people that are considered less than equal in a number of businesses, corporations, and industries throughout this country, and people that are regularly forced into low-paying jobs across this country will feel the need to cast a ballot for change, right? That's why I never understood when people say, when black people, I don't vote, don't matter. My vote don't count, don't matter. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. You sure about that? People died for you to have the opportunity to even live in this, breathe in this country. You owe it to your ancestors. Andy, I'm talking to you too. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we have got a great Pulse One-on-One that you need to hear. Kwesi Garreau, inside my Pulse One-on-One, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Right now, news and traffic. Stay right there. Don't you go nowhere.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A former state prison in Harlem is being converted into a temporary shelter for asylum seekers, with New York City trying to find places to put them. Meantime, police are still searching for a group who attacked 2 off-duty Marines in San Clemente, California. And State Farm says it will no longer insure